So now we come to the past continuous. I hope by now we are not confused. We are just mentioning the essential part of these tenses for the sake of your OET writing. So as we said, it is actually focused on the non-native speakers of English so that they're able to manage it. The other one, of course, we will go into detail later for a thorough study, but just getting the idea. Past continuous, I suppose you remember earlier, early we said present continuous is progressing, is recovering. Now the past tense of that, instead of is, we put the was plus verb plus ing. And we don't find that used quite often in OET. Of course, there is in the certain context. But when we take into consideration the other tenses, they come more than this particular tense or the following ones. So we don't have to say much about this because you know why? When we go through the letters, rough letters, this past continuous is not much used. The tenses that are used mainly in OET, as you know, simple present tense. And the variations of that, present, continuous and present perfect and present perfect continuous. And then past tense, simple past. Past continuous, of course, it comes. You don't have to bother much about that. Not that I'm saying it authoritatively, but for convenience sake, please. Okay. For those students who are just learning for their convenience sake. Past perfect. We know the present perfect, we have used the word has plus V3. Therefore, had undergone. Had undergone. An action that was, had only taken place. Okay. Then the past perfect continuous. Had been. You remember, has been drinking. The past tense of that. Had been taking. Not now. Has been taking or has been drinking. Start in the past, even now it's continuing. Had been taking, he had continued for some time, but not now. At the moment of speaking now, it doesn't have that. So sometime in the past, he was continuing it for a number of, for a period of time, but he doesn't have it now. Maybe stop that action. So had been. He had been taking this, but not now. He had been taking medicine, but not now. The meaning is that not now. Therefore, that is it. But please remember, our focus is on to those tenses that come mainly in OET, and that too for your convenience. We have not gone into the grammatical rules and applications detail as we should take a grammar class. The focus is on to the students who feel very weak. Therefore, the bare minimum that you should know so they can write rather good English. Rather, you can express yourself. That's the point. Now, another important area which many struggle is the passive voice. We must know that because we find perhaps, in the discharge plan, he has been recommended, he has been encouraged, he has been advised. All those will come. It is actually from active put into passive. And what is important is the passive. We are not talking about this now, just switching over to the passive voice because that is more important than these three. Because there's a reverse, order reverse. For example, imagine I'm a nurse. So the nurse gave, paracetamol to the patient. So the importance is to the nurse actually when you write this, the nurse gave it. But in passive voice, the order changes. The patient becomes important. So that's the emphasis given. So when you reverse it, you find that the nurse gave paracetamol to the patient. The patient was given paracetamol. The patient was given, paracetamol was given to the patient. Sorry. Paracetamol, the medicine is important, the patient is important. So that's how it comes. Anyway, we'll explain that. So, doctor recommended low-fat diet. He recommended. So, we will explain the grammatical use of that, but that's quite important because please remember, he has been requested, he has been encouraged, he has been recommended, he has been advised. Such words come. In particular, when you come to the discharge plan, you write that. He has been counseled on nutrition and she has been counseled on nutrition and pregnancy. She has been educated on, the risk factors of disease like, sexually transmitted diseases. So in such kind of things, passive voice is used. that gives emphasis, that gives beauty of language. And I'm sure, even with the tenses, there can be confusion for the ordinary students. But when we come to the passive voice, still more could be difficult. However, we will just handle that and see the bare minimum that should be understood, and we can handle that. Okay, we will just go to the passive voice. Okay.